Hit it. Sorry, great.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Yeah, it went through my whole costume. I have 6 holes in my shoes.
Lily, no, no. Lily, don't chase them. You can just walk behind them, but don't run.
Come on, guys.
I abhor the idea of separation.
And about the same time, and we will break from that.
Whatever else the Americans might desire, they do not want independence.
Before the revolution, most of the colonists had a feeling of pride in this part of the great British Empire. They did not want the type of broken. They merely wanted to have their rights as Englishmen respected. This having done, who knows, we still might be singing God Save the King instead of America. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrims' pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Troubles had brewed, and then the French and Indian War was 1763. Up to that time, Holland had been really well satisfied with English rule. True, Parliament had tried to control colonial trade by levying taxes on England. But England was too busy fighting long wars to equal its tax laws. It was only after England and Britain victorious that she could full of the colonies. The winter of 1763 and 1764, the Prime Minister of England called together the agents of the colonies.
Gentlemen, the time has come when we must be getting substantial revenue from America. Our long, drawn-out wars with the French and Indians have been costly. I suppose that a specific sum will be levied on the colonies to be paid yearly.
May I interrupt, Mr. Prime Minister? By not levying a specific demand on the colonies for revenue will lead to the direst consequences. The Americans will not stand for it, sir.
Perhaps a stamp tax then. We must have revenue, gentlemen. I shall propose in the common session of Parliament that a stamp duty be levied on the colonies. Or not a stamp tax at first, then some other tax on imports, say.
In 1764, Parliament passed a sugar law levying taxes on certain colonial imports, including sugar. Upside down until 1964, outraged policies rejected an institution for appeal. But Parliament stood firm. Early the next year, it passed the Stamp Act. In all, 55 articles were taxed. Opposition raged like a prairie fire throughout the colony.
Dig down in our pockets and pay for stamps, be paid some legal papers, and the like?
Not really.
£6 for a license from the governor to do business?
For pence per bill of lading? The very idea. I've known thousands of them shipments of goods to England. A shilling for a pack of cards?
We can't even throw colleges off picture. £2 for a course diploma, a penny for a sheet of newspaper, a shilling for a paper, 2 shillings for advertisement. Drive us to ruin.
Right, go Pat. New Hampshire, South Carolina, home of the founding names for the stamp issuers. Glenn, Forsyth, in Virginia. Patrick Henry was named Speaker of the House of Burgesses.
Caesar had his Brutus, Charles I his Cromwell, and George III. George III may profit by their example. If this be treason, make the most of it.
Sue, the rallying cry of no taxation, representation, spreading the colonies, in order to much as we can. The labor govern the House of
To submit to tyranny is slavery.
England is driving us to war.
Taxation without representation is unjust.
Tyranny! Tyranny! The Sons of Liberty were organized to prevent the sale of the tax service. Public gatherings in town meetings, protests, derby, and delirium Stamp Act were enforced. The colonists began to boycott British goods. Finally, the Stamp Act Congress, meeting here, protested vigorously and petitioned to repeal the act. The Humboldt colonists were on a bitter debate in the English Parliament. Great Britain believed that Parliament urged the House of Commons to repeal the act.
I rejoice that America has resisted. 3 millions of people so dead to all themes of liberty as voluntarily to submit to be slaves would have been fit instruments to make slaves of all the rest. The Americans have been wrong. They have been driven to madness by injustice. Will you punish them for the madness you have occasioned?
British merchants and businessmen urged to repeal the act because of the falling off in trade due to the British. At last, Parliament yielded and repealed the Stamp Act. Due to their repeal was the signal for rejoicing in England as well as in the American colonies. But the Boston Tea Party of December 1773 were colonists disguised as Indians dumped chests of tea into the harbor from 3 British vessels. Parliament retaliated immediately.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Hear ye! As a result of the Boston Tea Party, Parliament has enacted new laws to punish the colonists. The port of Boston was closed by sea. Town meetings are subject to the control of the English governor. British troops to be quartered in Massachusetts towns. Hear ye! Hear ye! Hear ye!
The British are coming, the British are coming. One up by land, two up by sea. And I on the opposite shore shall be, ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm, before the country folk shall be up into arm. I knew it thereafter, that I had alarmed the country, all the way up that the country caught ground. I should have 500 men there soon. One of them said that they had 1,500 coming. They seemed surprised and rode on the tombs, and informed them who took them. They came down on a bleeding yellow.
Why does he get all of the credit in Longfellow's poem? I, William Dawes, wrote and warned the Americans of a British attack too.
Why did they get all the credit? I'm only 16, or I'm Sybil Ludington, I'm only 16, and I worked harder than both of them to warn the Americans of a British attack. Why does everybody think they're so great? Indignation at the achievement of Boston swept from one end of the place to the other. Over here, the 350 miles of horseback to spread the news of Philadelphia. Soon, pelicans coming in all over. Bryce from South Carolina, Lundy and Flower from Union from Virginia, flocks of sheep from Connecticut, and the Virginia Convention of July 1774, where Washington stood up in a startling proposal.
I will raise 1,000 men, subsist them at my own expense, and march myself at their head for the relief of Boston.
A few rash patriots even begin to talk of independence, of separation.
Instead of fighting for the restoration of our privileges, let us fight for freedom and independence.
Independence? Who wants independence? All we want is justice and an end to tyranny.
Colonists were eager to show their sympathy with Boston, so they were glad when Virginia called for the Congress of all the colonies. The first Continental Congress met at Philadelphia, drew up a declaration of rights and grievances, and to put teeth into it, declared a boycott on British goods. John Adams, a delegate to Congress from Massachusetts, rode to his life at Abbeville.
September 17th, 1774. This is one of the happiest days of my life. In Congress, we had generous, noble sentiments, and manly eloquence. This day showed me that America will support Massachusetts or perish with her.
Relations between England and America grew worse with the boycott in effect. Lines were drawn between those who upheld the boycott and those who continued to buy British goods. A man was either a patriot, shrewd in the spirit of America, or he was a Tory, loyal to England. There was no middle ground. And in April 1775, a shot was fired, which around the world. Blood was shed at Lexington and Concord.
Disperse, you rebels! Throw down your arms and disperse!
Which side fired that first shot is still a mystery, but the die was cast. The Revolutionary War was on. 3 months after Lexington, the second Continental Congress met in Philadelphia and drew up a fervent statement of grievances of the colonists.
Journals of Congress, Philadelphia. In brief, we are reduced to the alternative of choosing an unconditional solution to the tyranny of irritated ministers or resistance by force. The latter is our choice. We have counted the cost of this contest and find nothing so dreadful as voluntary slavery. Honor, justice, and humanity forbid us tamely from surrendering that freedom from which we received from our gallant ancestors, and from which our innocent posterity have a right to receive from us.
The Congress humbly petitioned the king for the redress of wrongs, but its petitions were met with scorn and contempt. Parliament proceeded to raise a great army, including higher pension soldiers from Germany, to put down rebellion in the colonies. Shortly, Thomas Paine, who emigrated to America in the
becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which connect them with each other. Decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to separation.
There followed the death of Priam with a long list of grievances against the king. And then the resolution.
We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and upright ought to be free and independent states.
Not all the delegates to the Second Continental Congress were willing to go for independence. Some felt that the declaration was premature. After the adjournment of Congress on that memorable day, Benjamin Franklin and John Dickinson stand talking on one side of the room. Both are delegates from Pennsylvania.
I hope you're to the last, Mr. Dickinson, that you might change your mind and vote for the majority in our delegation.
I could not vote against my conscience, sir. A weak declaration of independence should have been delayed a while longer.
How long, Mr. Dickinson?
King in Parliament will never do it. But, Mr. Franklin, we have no army worthy of the name, no way of financing the war against the strongest power in the world.
We must depend on help from abroad. Independence is necessary to the beginning. Now we need to
How can we expect France to unite with us when we have not united with each other? No, union should be first. Then better. I feel we have made ourselves ridiculous in the eyes of foreign powers.
nonsense. It is a fool to know that people in the country who are thinking of leaving out the best ways in which we get from us.
At the very time when Congress is passing the Declaration of Independence, General Washington in New York was issuing an order to his troops.
The time is now in which must determine Americans to be freemen or slaves, whether their houses and farms are to be pillaged and destroyed. The fate of unknown millions will now depend under God and on the courage and conduct of this army. We have therefore to resolve to conquer or die.
Right at this time, the British fleet was sighted off the New Jersey coast. Washington sent word of it to Congress. The messenger arrived in the midst of the debate. And how was the Declaration of Independence received by Americans in 1776? The very night it was adopted, John Dunlop, owner of the print shop in Philadelphia, stayed up all night trying to get the stirring words in print by morning. He speaks to his helper as they take out letters from the typefaces.
Mark what I say. There will be volumes spoken and... Wait. All men are created equal. Mark what I say. There will be volumes spoken and written about those 5 words.
What does it mean, create equal? You and me, Mr. Dunlap? I wouldn't be one to say myself.
Equal in the eyes of the Creator. That's what it means. And so all men should be treated equal. That's it. Treated alike and have the same chance.
I can say amen to a thought like that, sir.
It's what we're going to stand for even more from now on. And the minute we forget, that minute we'll see our liberty beginning to slip through our fingers.
Dunlop's handbills were on the streets of Philadelphia soon after sunup. Avidly, the citizens of the city read the words. Some men who were jubilant, some were doubtful, and some were downright angry. But few realized that here, on page and pen, were historic words that take their place beside Magna Carta, that first great document to define the rights of man. In her home near Boston, Abigail Adams received an enthusiastic letter from her delicate husband. Their 9-year-old son, John Quincy Adams, listens eagerly as she reads the letter aloud.
This will be the most memorable epic in the history of America. I believe it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival. It ought to be solemnized by pomp and parade.
Do you think there'd be a parade, Mother, in Boston?
In all the cities of America, I should think, Johnny. Now listen to the rest of what your father has to say. It ought to be solemnized by pomp and parade, with shoes, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illumination.
Oh, Mother, bonfires and illuminations!
From one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward, forevermore.
Every year? An independence celebration every year?
That's what your father thinks, Johnny, and rightly so. There's such a tremendous thing as freedom. Now let's see, there's more. I am well aware of the toil and blood and treasure it will cost us to maintain this declaration and support and defend this
Therefore, the representatives of the United States of America solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and upright ought to be free and independent states.
We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Other patriots were celebrating on Bowling Green in New York City. The statue of King George III held the place of honor for 6 years. The king, robed like a Roman emperor, was seated on a horse. Horse and rider, larger than life, with his castle lead and covered in gold leaf. The high iron fence around the statue did not keep out some of the Sons of Liberty who were bent on destroying the statue of the king.
Lynch him! Lynch him!
Here, throw me that one.
You'd do better without this 15 feet of pedestal. Sling a rope around his neck, someone.
4,000 pounds. That's what they say the king and his horse weigh. Get rid of sled. Bullets down for bullets. Bullets. Thousands of bullets. Tens of thousands. Heave, boys, heave.
Look out! Here it comes!
Cut off his head, the rascal. We've no use for a king, now we're free and independent states. Statue of America. Yeah, let's do this.
Great bonfires burned in many other cities. Soldiers fired 13 volleys for the 13 states. In the taverns, men drank 13 toasts to the United States of America. In a few days, express riders would carry handbills of newspapers up and down the coast. But news did not reach some of the outlying corners of the states until August, even September. In the Waxhaw Indian country, South Carolina, a group of patriots gathered to hear the first reading of the Declaration of Independence in August 1776. The reader was a 9-year-old boy named Andrew Jackson, who later became the 7th President of the United States. As the meeting breaks up, Andrew's mother and older brother congratulate him.
Let it be well, Annie, do not finish his work.
Then they stumble over big words, unalienable rights. You know what it means?
I asked the preacher. These rights that can't be given away or taken away. Rights that are ours for keeps.
I only wish your father could live to see today. Lord bless him. Would have been a great day for him. Listen to his son, reading out the Declaration of Independence.
Paul was always for liberty, wasn't he?
That he was. To the delight of his heart, the influence he was words about government and the safety and happiness of within his house.
People like us? Mom, I decided I want to join up and fight. That's something we're fighting for.
I fought for government of myself, if it had been.
So would I, if 9 years old weren't too young. But I'll fight for freedom someday, somehow.
Nathan Hale was an American spy sent to gather intelligence of British troops. He was found out by a man named Robert Rogers and the Queen's Rangers.
Request to see a clergy. Request denied. Request to have a Bible. Request denied.
Nathan Hale was dragged to the hangman's noose.
Do you have any final words? I regret that I have but one life to lose for my country.
Nathan Hale was then hung and died at the age of 21. Well, there it is. The story of the noblest document in our whole history, the Declaration of Independence. The idea of liberty is now ingrained in every American. We take it for granted, just as we take the free union of our 50 great states for granted. How many of us ever stop to ask what it is that has held our union together for so long? How many of us ever try to answer that question? Abraham Lincoln did 100 years ago.
It was not the mere matter of separation of the colonies from the motherland. That sentiment in the Declaration of Independence, which gave liberty, not alone to the people of this country, but home to the world for all future time, was that which gave promise that in due time the land would be lifted from the shoulders